Hey, sorry I haven't updated in a while. I'm literally too late to do a proper review of my 2019 Triumph Streetwin, as I sold it already last week. But I still want to share my thoughts after about 1 year of ownership of the bike. I will have some background footage of me going on my last rides, one of those to work in the morning, but you will still have some burbling in the background of a very stock Triumph. For the TLDR people, I sold it because I felt too cramped on it, and on longer rides I really felt it. I'm 5'10", maybe 5'11" with riding boots, and I don't think a taller person should consider this bike necessarily. Even though it's one of the more sporty versions of the Triumph Modern Classics, not counting the Thruxton because of the clip-on bars. It feels like this is already in the full-on sporty category for me. Another thing I really didn't enjoy about the Streetwin was that I was lower to the ground than even smaller cars. It made me feel, I felt big on the bike, which was not great for my confidence. It was exceptionally easy to ride. My area is super hilly, and getting my feet quickly flat down on the ground was huge. Once even a drunk guy tried to push me off the bike, but I found a very stable footing right away and could catch it. I rode a bike all around Sydney, filtered through traffic, and had never a problem riding it. I dailied it to work, even took it on a couple of fairly rough off-road bits, which was mostly unpleasant, but you could do it. Boat-here rides through the national parks around here were the most fun, but those usually came with a longer ride home, which is where I started struggling with the bike. I had no mechanical issues during my ownership, except that the steering might have been pretty stiff towards the end and could have gotten some lubrication. On longer highway rides, the lack of wind protection was not great, but that was to be expected. And that's also where the 900cc engine also found its limits. Sometimes the throttle was a bit lazy and the power did not come on right away. I don't think it was because the bike was cold, or it was cold around here. As I said, I'm in Sydney and it's generally pretty hot here. I also thought the ABS came on quite quickly and strongly, but that's possibly because my wheels were turning ball slowly, towards the end at least. Brakes I found adequate, nothing special or anything to write home about, but I never needed much more. I rode it as hard as I could, which is probably not as hard as someone with much more experience. I did join a fairly fast group ride and I had no problem keeping up. The bike has solid street cred. Certainly it's one of the more classically attractive bikes around. I think I got the most compliments of any bikes with this one. Yes, of course, sometimes some older people start up a chat with you when they rode something similar in their youth. But yeah, most people thought the bike was pretty cool. Being a passenger on there was also not a problem, but I never took my girlfriend on a longer ride, only to like coffee spots around here. Maybe towards the furthest beach before we had to cross a bridge. I should have probably invested in a grab rail because she had it but with me all the time. The springs are a bit spongy, maybe, but possibly that's also because it's a 10-year-old bike. I'm not sure how they were when it was brand new. And I weigh 90 kilograms on a good day. I was fairly close in keeping it. Like I tossed and turned many of nights, thinking I should just put a few upgrades on it and maybe it would do the trick for me. I even had the items in the basket of my online shopping. I looked at the tech exhaust and cat delete, and I also thought about adding another camshaft to the bike, which should unlock its full potential and get it quite close to the 1200cc models. Which is cool, but also it's annoying that that it came quite crippled from the factory. At the very end I also got a new seat, or an old seat from a Triumph Bonneville T120. I could even see that on the T120 seat the quality was significantly better and it was more comfy and a little bit higher. But yeah, I don't think it fixed my problems with the bike. So the new owner has 2 seats now and he can choose which one he keeps or takes. Even though the Street Twin has a smaller tank than the other models, I thought the mileage was great. Sometimes after getting out of the city and towards the national parks, you could see the remaining kilometers slowly going up, which was pretty nice. But usually, yeah, after a while, riding so fast through the twisties, you obviously went down again. I think the decision to sell it was the right one for me. I would still though recommend it for anyone shorter than myself or in a heartbeat. I think the decision to sell it was the right for me. I think the decision to sell it was still the right one. I would still recommend it to anyone in a heartbeat if they are shorter than me. After test riding a few options, I have to say I'm a bit spoiled by Triumph now, and even some bikes that are more powerful on paper feel boring compared to it. I don't think anyone needs to be intimidated though by a 900cc bike. It's really manageable. My 650cc Yamaha single felt much more hectic compared to this one. It doesn't feel like it would ever get away from you or wants to get away from you, and the low seat height makes it really approachable. Maybe it shouldn't be your very first bike, but I think after you had your learners, or you had some time on a learner bike or a 250cc bike, I think when you're eyeing something like this, I think you should definitely consider this one right away. I hope this was helpful. I can't wait to pick up my bike, hopefully by the end of this week, my new bike, and hopefully make some content on that one and talk cameras as well again. Okay. Cheers, Aaron.